Well, today I wanted to take time and talk to you a little bit about communication out on the trail. And for years I've been using this Garmin InReach. Now it's Garmin now. When I bought it, it was a DeLorme InReach. And so if you're looking for one, you need to go to Garmin. And this is the older model. And that's why I'm going to be talking about this older model. Is I've had this since probably 2015, and the battery is finally dead. It just charges up, won't even hardly make it a day. So I have come out and bought a new battery, and today we're going to be installing that. So let's talk a little bit about Garmin and the InReach. What's nice about it is you can use their site, download GPS data to it, and use it as a GPS unit. You can turn it on and have it track your position, and people back home can watch and do a map share and watch where you're at on the map. There is a limit of 500 data points that you can put to this, but the thing I've learned is I use the EarthMate app on my phone, and when I use the EarthMate app on my phone, I can download the whole trail, and also I can go into their map program on the computer ahead of time and put other GPS data points of interest that I might want to apply. Really don't use the screen on this. There's a mini that they have now that works pretty good, but if my phone died, I like the bigger screen on this because I could use this. Now the one thing that's really nice about this, as people are tracking you, is you can they can go ahead and get your rooms at a hostel or someplace like that, or get rides for you. I've had several times where I was coming up to an area where there wasn't a ride. My wife would be watching and have a ride timed for when I got to the trailhead at some remote place, and there would be a car waiting for me. That's a great aspect of these. It does allow texting to and from the unit. You get different data plans on that. You can study that up on their website. But the texting is very, very nice to have, because no matter where you're at, with or without cell service, you're going to be able to use this. Their EarthMate app as well on the phones, you're going to be able to use that without cell service and see your location and use their maps as well. So this is a great way to communicate with people 24/7, and the most important person that you might want to communicate is with the SOS feature, where it's locked out on here. You can turn it on and then hold it, and you'll be working with emergency response teams. The other thing I like is they don't have an insurance plan, but they have a plan that's kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but basically it helps with rescues, things like that. You'd have to read up on that. I usually buy into that plan. It's $100-something a year, but I figure if you're in the backcountry and you have to have rescue crews get you out, and you have to have air travel via ambulance, things like that, this is going to help you out with their plan that they offer. So let's get into it, and let's talk about how to change out this battery. This is an older model, and if you're going to buy the battery, you want to make sure you get the correct battery. Now, the new models have a larger battery and have a different connector than what's going to be inside here. So you're going to want to make sure to get the right battery. I'll put down below the Amazon site that I bought my battery, and we'll see how that goes on installing this. So let's get into this right away and open this package up and see what they shipped us. Not much in the box, just a nice little battery. And if I look at this, pull this out, that is the battery for this unit, and it's got a 4-wire connector. It's smaller. If you have the larger units, it's going to have a bigger connector for it, so the battery on the larger units will not fit in this unit. It just won't fit in there. You won't be able to get the case closed. How do I know that? I got the wrong battery initially. So the next thing we have to do is come in here and pop and open the back of this, and it looks like this case, they did not send a tool, so I'm going to have to go to the shop and get a tool. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws to take apart. So I'm going to come in here and unscrew these. So we're going to open this up carefully, and what we're going to see, if I open it up, first of all, I'm going to take all these screws and pour it into a little bowl here. Kind of shake it, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. So all the screws that I've loosened are out. Now I need to be real careful because there's a little wire that goes to the antenna right there. Now I've got the strap on here as well, so I'm going to actually disconnect my strap while I do this. And it has a little quick release. And I leave the strap on when I'm hiking because I love the fact that if it falls off, I can strap that to a feature of my pack. and it won't get lost on the trail. So this is the ring, the gasket seal. We're going to need to make sure it gets back in there correctly and we don't lose it. So here's our new battery that we're going to be putting in here, and it's going to connect up here with the leads, and you can tell it's a little bit smaller battery here. So what I'm going to do is gently lift the battery off, okay, and it's taped to the units underneath. You probably could take a little driver or a knife and cut the double sticky tape out. And then what I'm going to do carefully is, because the antenna is crossing this lead, I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to use this tool to help pull that battery out. And remember, the blacks are on the left, over here on my left, and the reds are on the right. So what I'm going to do is put my new connector in there just like it was done. I might bend it a little bit so it wants to go in there a little bit easier. And we're going to put our wire connectors in there, try and get that so you can see it. And sometimes having a tool to help push it down there and to push it in, that snapped in really, really good there. And then I'm going to come in here, and this wire antenna went over that lead, so I'll remember that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go find some tape or something to fix this battery down onto the unit just like it was before, so it's not rattling around inside the unit. I went to look for some little sticky tape, and what I decided to do was use some Velcro. And this is Velcro that I use for my shoes and such, and it has sticky backings on it. So my intentions are to put Velcro on this, have male and female Velcros on there. And that's going to let it where I can stick it on there and keep it from moving. So I'm going to come in here and put that on that unit. And then I'm going to come in here. It looks like the unit's a little bit longer. So I'm going to cut some more pieces and put one down here on this as well, so that it's held in two spots instead of just one. So I think this is 2100 milliamps, where this may be a 2400 milliamps. So a little bit different size battery. It may not last as long as when it was new, but I should be able to get at least, I would be happy with 4 days of battery on it. So once you have the seal put in place, you're going to come in and put the top portion back into place very carefully and make sure that the seal is lined up and it's going to seal off properly. And then we're going to be ready to come in and screw it down. Again, don't over torque them, because you can come in there and strip out the plastic inside the unit. Now then, I can put this back on. That seals it off. Everything should be working. I'm going to see if it'll turn on. Oh, here's the power button over here. There might be some power in the battery, and it sure does. It comes on, so that's a good sign that I didn't break anything. And I can cursor over, say power on. Looks like my unit's going to work. So I'm ready to charge it and see if this really took hold, having a new battery in there. Well, it looks like my InReach is ready for the trail, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be putting more videos out there on more gear modifications and getting ready for the Appalachian Trail. I'll be doing some stuff with water purification coming up here in the near future. One thing you can do is subscribe down below and help follow me and support me on the Appalachian Trail. Hike on.